Hello, I'm Scott Bogie here with your Cage Warriors welterweight contender, Adam Darby, ahead of his Cage Warriors fight against Robert Constantine. How are you doing today?
So how are you? I'm good. Just back from training, morning session. Good weather. It's 30 degrees right now. The sun's shining. Just gonna have something to eat. Get back to sparring later. Having a good day.
And how has the gym been? Because obviously you're currently at MMA Fight Academy. How has that been so far?
Yeah, so I'm doing my camps out in MMA Fight Academy. I'm still in Team Rhino, but I do my
Yeah,
camps out here in MMA Fight Academy and have Jake and Mark in the corner from MMA Fight Academy. It's been really good, really high level of training, good bodies on the mat, 10, 15 pros each session. I'm really enjoying it out here.
exactly. You've got a whole bunch of talent from Cage Warriors there to be able to help you, like Teddy Stringer, Joe Fields. I know he unfortunately lost last night on the Contender Series to Jason Blair. How has having that level of talent in the gym been able to help guide you?
Yeah, look, it's the same thing in any gym. Everyone does the same work, I find, but it's just the body's on the mat. You've 15, maybe 20 guys some days that are on the mats, all professionals. All we do is train. No one's really having to go to work and do this and do that, missing sessions. Everyone's on the mat twice a day at least training, and I think it really makes a difference.
And what do you feel like your main strengths are in this upcoming fight?
To be honest, I'm good everywhere. I'd like to wrestle a little bit. Let's see where the wrestling goes. Let's see how he is at wrestling. We know he likes to take people down and smash them. So
Yeah.
let's see if he can get me down. I don't think he can. Let's see.
And that was evident in not your last fight, but the fight before that, where he just tried to get you on the mat, just like what you're saying, but he just couldn't, and you're just throwing him with damage, and you could kind of see him slowly start to break down. Do you feel like your damage is just on that not next level?
Yeah, look, I can go 15, 30 minutes, whatever the fight is, I'll go. I will never lose a fight. I'm not being fit. I train hard every single day in and day out. I'm in camp all the time. I don't do this shit at just 8 weeks. I'm in
Yeah.
camp all year round. If I'm on holidays, I'm still training. I'm still eating good. I live the martial arts life, and I think that shows when I fight. I can push the pace. I can do damage on the inside. If I get taken down, I'll pop straight back up and I'll do some damage.
And have you been able to have the benefit of being able to just focus on MMA, or are you also doing stuff on the side as well?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough. I'm in a financial position where I'm able to just focus on MMA now the past kind of year or two, and that's all I do. MMA 2, 3 times a day, and I don't have to do anything else. But not a lot of people have that, so I count myself lucky. I'm privileged to be able to be in that position, and I don't forget that when I'm training. When it gets tough in the cage or whatever we're doing, maybe we're grappling that day. I'm tired. I remember shit 2 years ago. I used to have to work, so dig deep and let's go. Keep this life alive.
And how is it being able to fight in Dublin? Because last time out, it was a sold out arena, the crowd was buzzing. How is it just walking out, just seeing the crowd just erupt for yourself?
There's nothing like fighting at home, is there? Homecoming, even if people don't like you and you're Irish, they'll still cheer for you. It's great to fight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing friends, family after the fight, getting a big win in front of the home crowd. I think it's nearly sold out. I think it's like 200 tickets
Yeah.
left. We're like 2.5, 3 weeks out, so it will be a sellout.
And does that just shows how much the Irish people just support their fighters just in general, as that you're always bringing that crowd with you. If it's just look at the event this weekend coming up. There is still a few seats available. Come fight week, it looks like it's just going to be a sold out already.
I'll be sold out 100%. Like the Irish always get behind the Irish, no matter what it is. I just think, yeah, they do, don't they? They get behind it. And when it comes to MMA or boxing or anything, the shows are always sold out. And I think Cage Warriors have really done well to build up. They started in the Tree Arena 2 years ago. They put on a show. I think it might have been a 3,000 seater. They decided the Tree Arena wasn't for us. They went down to the RDS, started small, and now look, they're selling out 4,000 seats a couple of weeks out.
And speaking about that last fight, how big was it for Irish MMA just having that explosion of prospects on the card? Because you obviously had yourself, you had Solomon, but also had people like Keith and Max Ali, who are just coming through the ranks, but they're just showing how good Irish MMA is at this present moment.
Yeah, look, if you look at the Cage Warriors roster in general, even Irish MMA, look at the talent that's coming through. I think 2, 3, maybe 4 years from now, I think you'll have 10 guys in the UFC from Ireland easy. Look at, as you said, Max, Keith, me, Solomon. There's a couple of other guys that aren't even on Cage Warriors, the likes of Lewis Bourne, who are
Yeah,
coming through, and they're all doing really well. So, yeah, I think 2-3 years, you'll have a big roster of Irish guys in the UFC.
And how big was it when James Sheehan was able to clinch that title and bring it back to Team Rhino?
Yeah, look, James is a tough guy. He was unlucky in the last fight. I thought he was winning, to be honest with you, winning really well, and just got caught. That's the name of the game. I'd like to see him back out there early April next year. Maybe 1 or 2 fights max, and go to the UFC. You know, he's an entertaining fighter. He always puts it on the line. You never go to a James Sheehan fight and say that was a boring fight. So I'd like to see him come back from that now. 1, maybe 2 fights and into the UFC. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I think I heard from someone that he was up on the scorecards 30-26 at one point before that stoppage. Do you think that kind of warrants that immediate title fight back when he is back from his injuries?
Well, you know, I haven't spoken to James in a couple of weeks, but you'd have to speak to James and say, but maybe he doesn't even want the title back. Why not just run it 2 fights back to back within inside of 2 or 3 months? Fight, keep it rolling, fight 6 weeks later, and go to the UFC. Now that title brings, I don't want to say negative things with it, but you know, you get the title, you've got to wait around for 4, 5, 6 months for someone to contender to come up, and you've got to fight him, and that could be you get 2 fights in 1 year. It's not great if you're pushing for the UFC. So maybe just go straight for a run to the UFC. Let's see what he does.
And like you're saying, you're having to get that win and then sit around for that next contender. You've not done that this year. You've been very active coming into this year. Was that your goal, is to come into 2025 and just have as many fights as possible?
Yeah, ideally I'm getting 4 fights this year. You know, I'm 2 in. I've 1 more fight in 2 weeks' time, and this goes well. Get 1 more fight November, December time, whatever the boss would say. You know, the matchmakers. But I was out for 18 months with a broken hand. Broke my hand in 2 different places. Snapped my finger, and broke me metacarpal. So that put me out for 18 months. I was on the sideline, not able to fight. I was in and out of camps trying to, you know, I kept training, but my hand wasn't there, and then I didn't get a fight. It was a weird situation. So originally I broke my metacarpal, and I was out. So I kept training, stayed fit, came back, and I was going to fight in London. This was, Jesus, a year and a half ago now. And I had to let the matchmakers know, is your hand okay to fight? And I was kind of, I'm not too sure, to see the specialist. So I ended up getting the all clear, but it was too late. It was, 5, 6 weeks out from the fight. They had no space in the card left. London's a busy card. So that's okay. They moved me, 8 weeks later. Trained for Manchester. Snapped my finger in half. That put me out again. Made a return then, kept training, stayed training on it. I was always training when I had a cast on. If you ask any of the lads in the gym, I was a bit mad. I had a full cast on, I was on the mats rolling and stuff. A bit stupid now looking back on it, but look. Anyways, they made me return to Manchester. So this is 3 camps back to back then. And the night before the weigh-ins, it's about 11 p.m. the night before the weigh-in. So I got a phone call, come down to the office. The guy who was meant to fight failed his medical. He had a problem with his eye, he'll never fight again. So that was that fight off. So back home for a week, back on the plane, back out to California, do another camp, and then we got the win. So 4 camps I had to do for 1 fight. And, I picked up a lot of details from that. And I think I've showed it in my last 2 fights, and I think I'll show it again now in 2 weeks' time.
Exactly. And how, I want to say, disappointing were you having to keep going camp after camp after camp and just not being able to get out there while you were able to improve and be able to stay in the gym? How much were you just wanting to get into that cage?
Oh man, it was killing me not fighting. I was going to all the shows with the lads doing corners, but it's just not the same when you're not fighting. I was putting in that work. I was smashing camps. I was leveling up each time, and I think that showed in my last 2 fights how much I have leveled up. But it was heartbreaking going to the shows, watching the lads fight and win, and just standing on the sidelines. But I'm a team player, and I knew my time would come, and this year is my time. I'm 2-0 this year so far, about to go 3-0 in 2 weeks' time. So we'll keep the ball rolling.
And who do you think? I'll give you 3 names. Who do you think was the top 3 prospects just now in Irish MMA?
Irish MMA. Gonna take myself number 1. We had a couple of good people in the UFC, but bad weekend for Irish MMA in the UFC. I think Keith Kyo was doing really well. And Solomon Simon. I'd like to see Solomon actually fight for the belt in Dublin, if that's possible. I don't think it is. What say do I have? Me saying it means nothing, but I think Harry Hardwick's gone to the UFC. He was unlucky on the weekend, but I think we'll see him bounce back to that. He took a fight on a couple of days' notice against a really good guy, a weight class up. So he's gone to the UFC. He's going to get another fight, I reckon. So I'd like to see Solomon fight for the belt. Let's do Solomon for the belt. Why not? It's vacant. He's 6-7-0. He deserves it, I think.
And do you feel like you get that he clean bill of health after that fight for Solomon, and he goes straight in there in November in London against Nick Bagley. I know he's been calling for that fight against Bagley for a while. Do you feel like Cage Warriors will do that?
Yeah, Cage Warriors match good fights. You know, they want the best fights. They're the best organization in Europe. Look at the amount of people that they sent to the
Yeah.
UFC. I think they will do it. Like, yeah, Solomon gets a big win, and I think he will. I think he puts that guy away probably early enough, to be honest with you. And then I think they make that fight happen late November, early December for the belt, which they should do.
Now, outside of MMA, what other hobbies do you kind of like have?
Uh, Not really. MMA is the only thing I'm good
Eat,
at.
eat,
If I'm
sleep,
not
fight,
trying,
repeat.
yeah, if I'm not training, I'm sleeping or eating, and that's it really. I'm studying fights. I'm living with a couple of friends here that are into MMA as well. So that's all we do. We watch fights. We might play UFC. We go run, train together. That's it. That's all we do. We don't really do anything else, to be honest with you.
And who's your favorite go-to character in the game?
Hmm. Probably Justin Gaethje. He's always worth a little pick.
Definitely. And you get this victory. How are you celebrating the win?
You know, I'm expecting to get the victory, so I never really celebrate that much. The usual little walk off or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I'm focused on just getting that win. Victories and celebrations means nothing to me. All this, you know, a lot of people they focus on what music am I walking out to, what's my kick going to look like. That shit doesn't bother me. I'm a little bit old school when it comes to that. I just want to get in there, put the work in, fight, and get the win.
Is there not even any specialist food that you like to go for after a fight?
No, I don't really do anything. I just go home, sit with my girlfriend at the hotel. We eat some food. I'll sit with my family. The next day I go for food with my family. That's it. Same shit every time. I don't really drink, don't party, don't do drugs. I just love MMA, and I found, you know, I'm really lucky. I found what I love to do. I'll give you an interesting one actually. My dad said to me when I was a kid, find something you love doing, do it, make money out of it. You never work a day in your life. That's what I'm doing. I'm really lucky.
Exactly. And in that last fight, how did you feel like that went for you?
Yeah, it was a good fight. I was a bit slow off the bat. Coming into round one, I was a bit sick fight week. I was on antibiotics right up to the day before the fight, so that kind of fucked me a little bit. But you know, I'm fit. I'm so fit, and I train so much that I wouldn't let that get me down. I wouldn't let that get into my head. So I came out a bit slow to start in round one, but got the job done.
Exactly. And what did you make of like the height difference there?
Yeah, I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3", 6'4", depends on who you ask or who I'm telling. But the guys are always small and stocky, aren't they? I think this next guy, Constantine's 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", so I've got a little bit of height on him, but he's going to be stocky, strong, so let's see.
And do you feel like you kind of use that to your advantage, being able to stay in that range?
Yeah, I like to keep my range. This guy likes to run in and wrestle, so probably wrestle. Let's see what happens. You know, I've trained for every outcome, and wherever it goes, I'm good.
Exactly. And speaking outside of Cage Warriors, how do you feel like Octagon has been for Irish MMA? Because obviously you do have Will as that double champ. You then have got Richie Smullen doing his thing as well in there. How do you think they are being able to bring in that avenue as well for you guys?
Yeah, Octagon's been great for a lot of the guys. You know, Shamrock and stuff was fighting them as well, and
Yeah,
I think they pay pretty well. But for me, I've always said it from a young age that the Cage Warriors was the route for me. I've had all my professional fights on Cage Warriors. I want to go to the UFC. I'm not chasing the money or anything like that. I want the UFC, and I'll get the money when I get there. So I've just been down that route. Cage Warriors is the best to get you to the UFC. They'll build you up, build you up, build you up. Tougher fights each time. Then they get you to the UFC. So that's the route I'm taking, and that's where I'm going to go with it.
exactly. And you're saying that you're wanting another fight in November. Is there anyone that you're wanting to say, or are you going to wait to see what it gets offered to you?
No, I'll just look. I'll just take who they give me. I don't care. I'm not into all this fake shit of online calling people out, and I just want to fight whoever they put in front of me, whether it's a prospect, a veteran, whatever. I'll be whoever they put in front of me.
Exactly. Make sure you guys tune in. It's a fight that you definitely do not want to miss and see Adam get another highlight reel finish. And is there anything you want to add or anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out Key Tech Electricals. It's a friend of mine's business. He's starting out. If you need any electrical stuff done, get on to him.
Well, can't wait to see you get that victory. It's going to be a great night, and we can't wait to see you get that victory once again. Thank you so much.
Scott, thank you very much.